learners! How are you today? I hope you're all safe and healthy and you are doing your activities and module while at home. This is me, Teacher Faye, your English 5 teacher, always grateful and happy to be with you in your training. Let us enjoy and learn new skills together. So, if you're ready, grab your paper, pen, and self-learning module. Sit up straight, listen carefully, and let's start our class. For today's lesson, we are going to distinguish text types according to purpose. To explain. In this lesson, you will learn to identify informational text types that explain a certain concept and draw out important information explained in a given text. Before we proceed in our lesson, let's try to answer this pre-assessment. Draw a happy face if it is an explanation and sad face if it is not. Number 1. In adding similar fractions, just copy and add the numerators, then simplify the answer if needed. Very good! Happy face, it is an explanation because it explains the steps in adding similar fractions. Number 2. We have to wear face masks and face shields to limit the spread of virus. Very good! Happy face, it is an explanation because it tells us on how we are going to prevent the spread of virus. In number 3, in the 19th century, our ancestors used alibata as their alphabet. Very good! Sad face, it is not an explanation because it is not explained how or why things happened. Number 4. The reason why crystals have different color is because of their varying mineral contents. Very good! Happy face, it is an explanation because it tells us why crystals have different color. And number 5, the first step in introducing yourself is by telling your name and telling what to do. Very good! Happy face, it is an explanation because it explains how to introduce yourself. Now, let us read a text about COVID-19 and answer few questions. Coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered kind of virus. Most people infected with the COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatment. Older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is to be well informed about COVID-19 virus, the disease it causes, and how it spreads. Protect yourself and others from infections by washing your hands or using an alcohol-based rub frequently and not touching your face. The COVID-19 virus spreads primarily through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So, it's important that you also practice respiratory etiquette, for example, by coughing into a flexed elbow. Number 1. What is the text all about? Very good! The text is about coronavirus disease or COVID-19. Number 2. What is coronavirus disease or COVID-19? Very good! You will find the answer in the first stanza. Coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered kind of virus. Number 3. How do we prevent the transmission of COVID-19? Very good! You will find the answer in the third stanza. The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is to be well informed about COVID-19 virus, the disease it causes, and how it spreads. Protect yourself and others from infection by washing your hands or using an alcohol-based rub frequently and not touching your face. Number 4. Why is it important that we practice cleanliness and follow health protocols? Very good! The answer is to prevent and slow down the transmission of virus. And number 5, what is the purpose of the selection? Very good! The purpose of the selection is to explain the coronavirus disease. Great job, kids! Now, let's proceed to our discussion. What is an explanation text type? An explanation text type explains how or why things, concepts, and ideas happen or occur. It includes the following: general statement of the main idea, description of how or why of the event or happening, and items related to the topic in the right order, and explanation how these items are related to each other, and a concluding statement that sums up your explanation. So kids, let's try this. Distinguish if the following selection aims to explain something. Write down sentences from the selection that expresses an explanation. Effects of soil erosion on living things. Plants get most of its nutrients from the topsoil. The topsoil contains the organic materials produced by dead plants and animals. However, this topsoil is usually carried away by wind and water. Once the topsoil is gone, the nutrients for plants will be carried away as well. Too much soil erosion makes the soil unable to hold or absorb water. This makes the soil dry, coarse, and eventually unfit for vegetation. In addition, sediments that are washed away by water can clog irrigation systems and can further inhibit the plant's water supply. The effect of erosion on plants would mean less food production. This can affect animals and humans since plants are their main source of food and nutrients. Aside from the lack of food supply, people who depend on farming as their source of livelihood will have problems if they do not have a healthy and fertile soil to plant on. Now, write down sentences from the selection that expresses an explanations. Very good, kids! We have For your activity, you are going to identify whether the following topics can be used in an explanation text type. Say hooray if the topics can be used, and thumbs down if not. Number 1, the water cycle. Very good. It's hooray. Number 2, the importance and conservation of forests. Very good. It's hooray. And number 3, global warming. Very good. It's thumbs down. Always remember, kids, an explanation text type explains how or why things, concepts, and ideas happen or occur. It includes the following: a general statement of the main idea, description of how or why of the event or happening, and items related to the topic in the right order, explanation how these items are related to each other, and a concluding statement that sums up your explanation. Now that you already know how to distinguish text type that explain, let's have our quiz. The direction, you have to answer yes if it is a text type that explain, and no if not. Number 1. Long time ago, Arojo, a young and mighty giant, fell in love with an ordinary mortal girl named Aloya. When this girl died, giant Arojo cried so bitterly that his tears turned into mounds of earth. This eventually became hills as lasting proof of his grief, now known as the Chocolate Hills. Very good. The answer is yes. Number 2. Looking like giant mole hills, the Chocolate Hills are probably Bohol's most famous tourist attraction. Most people who first see the landscape in pictures can hardly believe that these hills are natural artifact or not man-made. If this idea is true, then the effort of building them surely surpasses the construction of the pyramids in Egypt. Very good. The answer is no. Number 3. The hills are no less than 12,268 in number. Uniform in shape, they are between 30 and 50 meters high. They are covered with grass, which at the end of the dry season turns into chocolate brown. It is from this color that the name Chocolate Hills was derived. Very good. The answer is no. Number 4. If you wish to get to the Chocolate Hills on your own, you can do this. From Tagbilaran, you will have to go to the integrated bus station in Dau and catch a bus going to Carmen. Ask the driver to drop you off at the Chocolate Hills complex, which is about 4 kilometers before the town of Carmen. From there, have a 10-minute walk along a road winding up to the complex. Very good. It's a yes. Text type that explain. Thank you so much, learners, for watching and listening attentively to this video lesson. I am teacher Tayan, always reminding you to keep safe and healthy while studying at home. God bless you and goodbye!